This is the story of a true disturbing police horror story I am going to tell you. It's not something I heard in a movie or read in a book. It really happened. And even today, when I think about it, it sends chills down my spine. It happened a few years ago in a small town not far from here. The town was quiet, peaceful, the kind of place where people rarely locked their doors at night. Everyone knew everyone. The police station was small too, just a handful of officers working different shifts. Nothing big ever really happened. There, just the usual stuff. A few drunk drivers, small fights at bars, some missing pets. But one night, something changed everything. There was a young officer named Daniel. He had only been working at the station for about a year. Tall, strong, and full of energy, he believed he could handle anything. He was on the night shift alone that night. The older officers had warned him that strange things happen sometimes late at night. Calls from abandoned houses, reports of screams in the woods, but it was always brushed off as teenagers playing pranks. Around 2:17 a.m., the police radio crackled. It wasn't a normal call. It was full of static, but Daniel could hear a faint voice coming through. It was a woman, whispering, begging for help. She kept saying, "Help me. Please. He's coming." Then there was a loud thud, and the line went dead. Daniel immediately sat up straight. It wasn't like the prank calls they usually got. This felt different. He grabbed his flashlight, put on his jacket, and jumped into the patrol car. The weird part? The call had no clear address. The dispatcher tried to trace it, but the system said it came from inside the woods that bordered the town. Those woods were thick, dark, and stretched for miles. People avoided them at night. Still, Daniel wasn't the type to ignore a call for help. He drove to the edge of the woods, parked his car, and started walking in with only his flashlight, cutting through the darkness. It was dead silent, no crickets, no wind, just a heavy, pressing silence. As he walked deeper, he started noticing weird things. Broken branches, deep footprints in the mud, but not like normal footprints. They were twisted, almost animal-like, but too large and oddly shaped for any animal around there. Daniel kept going. He was trained not to be scared, but every step he took made him feel more like he was being watched. Then he saw her, a woman in a white dress, standing completely still between the trees, her hair covering her face. Daniel called out, "Ma'am, are you okay? I'm here to help you." She didn't move. She didn't say anything. Slowly, he moved closer, but every part of him screamed that something was wrong. When he was about 10 feet away, she finally looked up. Her eyes, they were black. Not like dark-colored eyes, but pure, empty black. And her smile, it stretched too wide, like her skin was tearing at the edges. Before he could react, she let out this sound, this horrible high-pitched scream that echoed through the woods. Daniel stumbled back, tripping over a root, dropping his flashlight. In the panic, the light flickered across the trees, and for just a second, he saw them. Dozens of figures, all standing silently behind her. Men, women, children, all pale, all with those same black, empty eyes. They weren't alive. They couldn't be. There was no way. Daniel scrambled to his feet and ran. He didn't even care if he was making noise. He just knew he had to get out of there. but the woods seemed endless. No matter which way he ran, he kept finding himself back at the same clearing where he first saw her. He tried using his radio, but it was just static now, loud and angry. His phone? Dead? His flashlight? Flickering like it was about to die, and then he heard it. Footsteps behind him. Slow, deliberate footsteps. But when he turned around, there was nothing. He walked backward, flashlight shaking in his hand, trying to see anything that could help him. Suddenly, he felt something cold grab his wrist. Daniel screamed and pulled away, swinging his flashlight around. He caught a glimpse of a hand, gray, thin, with long black nails. He didn't look back. He just ran, pushing through bushes and branches, until he saw the faint lights of the town in the distance. He burst out of the woods, covered in scratches and mud, gasping for air. Other officers found him wandering near the road, barely able to speak. They took him back to the station, sat him down, gave him water. Slowly, he told them what happened. But no one believed him. They said it must have been a nightmare, maybe some bad prank played by kids. But Daniel knew what he saw, and it didn't end there. After that night, Daniel changed. He was always looking over his shoulder. He hardly slept. He became jumpy, quiet. A month later, he quit the force without warning and left town. Nobody's heard from him since. But the strangest thing? The calls didn't stop. Other officers, on late-night shifts, reported hearing the same woman's voice crackling through the radio, always whispering for help, always begging. Some even claimed they saw shadows moving just at the edge of the woods. One night, 2 officers went in together to check. Only one came back. The officer who survived refused to talk about what happened. He just packed up his things and left town the next morning. He left behind his badge, his gun, and a note that simply said, "You can't save them." Now that stretch of woods is fenced off. No one is allowed near it after dark. But sometimes, if you're close enough, you can still hear it. The whispering, the crying, calling out for help. And if you listen too closely, they say you might not come back. So next time you're driving near a quiet town late at night and you see thick woods stretching along the road and you hear something, a whisper, a cry, don't stop. Don't answer. Just keep driving, because some calls for help are not meant to be answered.